last dance video, I introduced a new piece of equipment that I'm using to help me track my dance analytics. This here watch counts my steps, converts to equivalent km run, and more importantly, tells me how much deep sleep I'm recharging with per night. I've chosen a old school Mario clock face. I'm sure throughout this entire series, one habit people have noticed is my dedication to dance. I'd credit the dedication with my steady improvement. This vlog series is really just a personal video chronicle of my progress throughout these last couple of months. Any professional dancer will tell you that watching yourself dance is one of the best ways to improve. You can watch yourself in many different ways. For example, one reason why I dance on this porch is because I have a glass sliding door. This glass sliding door acts as a mirror for me. That's how I improve my dancing on the spot. I can course correct while I'm dancing fluidly in the moment. The recordings, I'm almost like a pro athlete video coach who analyzes tape. In analyzing tape, I can slow down my footage and watch the intricacies of how I dance, and more importantly, how I make mistakes. For example, I've concentrated in equal measure on breakdancing and tutting. With tutting, I've become more and more obsessed with foot accuracy, placement, and then speed. All of those I was easier with myself earlier because I was still learning the basic steps, the crossover, the Indian crossover. Now I've progressed onto multiple variations, and in order to increase the number of variations, I really need to analyze my body mechanics. Of course, having the step under your belt is the first step, but after that, I think really you have to analyze your body mechanics, and the best way to do that is to record yourself and play yourself in slow motion so that you can actually watch those intricacies of what you're doing. That's been helpful in breakdancing, and it's been also helpful in the tutting, because with the tutting, I can isolate. Am I hitting my 90 degrees? And often I'm hitting them close enough, but in order to improve, you have to catch your subtle errors and improve on them. Now obviously with dance, you're improving a number of different things all at the same time. Form, accuracy, speed, and I really improve those one upon another depending on how I feel that day. So, as a woman, some days my auntie flows in town and that takes me out of commission, so I'm less finessed on all of those fronts. But that means when I'm good the rest of those days, I really drive myself hard to improve on all three of those things. I mentioned before that I dance 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I mix it up in my progression. Sometimes I work exclusively on top rock, which is breakdancing footwork. Sometimes I work exclusively on tutting. Sometimes I exclusively choreograph routines. Today is another new breakdancing choreography. Sometimes I work on static calisthenics, body weight exercises. The flashy, dynamic wow factor of breakdancing is actually very difficult to build. There's a long progression on that, and it's something I have to work towards. So, especially with moves where you're balancing all your body weight on your hands, those take time, and just to balance alone is difficult enough. Imagine having to balance in the context of a song while dancing. That's proven to be about as difficult as I expected it to be, which is why I usually perform top rocks and some footwork because that's easier to integrate. That's something that comes naturally to me as part of stand-up dancing. But those flashy moves, those dynamic moves, those wow moves, I'm working towards them. And that's why breakdancing is an extreme sport. Anyone who thinks otherwise has never done it before or never done it at a high level. Part of my dedication to this way of life is that I think this type of cardio flexibility, stretching routine that I've developed in these hours of dancing will port with me on the road when I eventually return to adventure traveling. When I was adventure traveling, again, many people commented on my dedication, but my dedication was strictly to yoga. Now I've transformed a lot of my yoga, martial arts, dance background, all moderate except for yoga, which is advanced, into an art form that I really enjoy. And I'm working on the progressions that I can do on the road. First off, instead of cold cocking it and stretching without any blood in your system, blood in your muscles, I'd suggest, and many experts suggest, that you actually warm up before you do yoga anyways. So, with that said, this is essentially a way that I trick myself into thinking that I am still adventure traveling. I'm designing health programs for myself. I'm curating currency on Money Mondays. Sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. Okay. With today's choreography, I'm gonna again probably attempt a couple passes, but with some flow and flexibility. I choreographed some rough top rock, but when it comes to floor work, I'm still thinking, and sometimes I like to just turn the camera on and throw down freestyle, because a lot of times I actually rewatch my freestyles and steal ideas and coalesce them. Just to address the difference between freestyle and choreography, freestyle is something I consider to be in the moment. What's done is done. And choreography is something that I consider that you can replicate and repeat on demand. During my 14 days of quarantine upon return from Turkey, all of that was freestyle, and I'd have difficulty repeating them move for move if someone were to ask me to. But choreography, those are things I actually practice every day and that I can repeat and perform on demand. That's why I've shifted my mindset more towards choreography, because that's actually what I want to do. That's something that I want to improve. Freestyle, I know I can throw down on a dance floor to any music, whatever, but I want a portfolio that I can actually repeat on demand. So that's what I'm doing here with the choreographies. But otherwise, every second week, I'll probably continue on with the freestyle sessions, because those are actually my most creative time. Sometimes dancing can be very technical, and I've to keep myself motivated with different types of work on the dance. Technical, creative, all over. So, what else do I want to say about my progression? Yes, this is a very technical dance talk today, because it's what I'm feeling. This is over 160 some days now, and I'm really happy with the progress I've made. But part of making progress is having a rough system. Rough keeps it on course so that you're improving, but still fun. Fun is what I stress. Some people have asked me again about the live component, and again, for some reason, live is what's encouraged me and basically freed the creativity to be what it is. Instead of second guessing it, I'm cool having it live. Be on the journey with me. Or do something else. Watch the actual Breaking Bad on Netflix. Whatever you want. We live in a free society, so you can choose the entertainment that so fits you. As you may have observed, or even felt, breaking is the best cardio workout I've ever done in my life. But it's also the funnest, and that's what's encouraged me to continue. One of my friends is a personal trainer and has mentioned to me several times that for women, osteoporosis is a concern, and one thing you can do to help yourself is cardio and weight-bearing exercise. Fuck, is what I thought before I started my breakdancing journey. I've always had an aversion to cardio. I ran track and field in high school, but I always struggled with it because I had difficulty with managing my energy during cardio. My sensei, mentor, Joe Rogan, has many people on his podcast, many experts in their fields. People have heard of Wim Hof breathing technique, which I use. Another master of breath is Laird Hamilton, the most well-known, famous, downright radtacular big wave surfer in history. Laird taught me a technique that I've been using during cardio, which is nose breathing. All nose breathing. I've integrated the nose breathing with my yoga 4 pattern. So when I'm dancing at a moderate or slower pace, I'll actually try to breathe in and out using a 4 pattern. And that's helped me regulate my energy so that I'm better at it. When the cardio picks up, to be honest, I think anyone's body outside of high performance athletes will struggle, but me being open to integrating new techniques has helped me. I'm very much the Bruce Lee school of thought, which is cross-train, cross-train, cross-train. People who think that breakdancing is just breakdancing, or yoga is just yoga, or martial arts is just martial arts, fail to have a systems way of thinking. Body movement is all cross-trainable. Body-mind is also cross-trainable. If anything, actually, the body-mind is the connection that most people miss when they're training their body. They're thinking, okay, this is all physical, this is about physical output, physical performance, but I'll mention that to me, everything's worked in tandem because the mind is working. Last year, I obtained my PADI open water license, and that basically leveraged on my many years of advanced yoga. All of the breath work that I was doing underwater and on scuba was something that I've trained for many years through yoga. That's actually why I delayed my license for so long, because when I first attempted to scuba, that was one of the worst experiences of my life. My mistake was scubaing on my very first underwater interaction with sharks, cageless. So what happens is that these sharks are in a large container aquarium, and they're free swimming around. You have the ability to free swim with them if you learn the fundamentals of scuba diving within an hour. And that's the difficult part. Trying to scuba within an hour is a tall order for people who've never tried it before, and the failure rate's actually really high on that excursion. So after that, my first experience dunking my head underwater on scuba, I freaked the fuck out. I'm a strong swimmer, but something in me was just struggling to breathe. And when you have your nose, your mouth, your ears, your eyes, your feelings, everything all failing at once, that can be a scary thing. I waited a whole 4 years from 2015 to 2019, and those 4 years were spent working myself up to being able to do something like that. So, okay. Mind, body. I'll work on that connection right now. 2 more times because I have very limited time. I'll have to do back to back now. Okay, given the cardio workout, I'll rest for 2 minutes and then end off with my third pass on this choreography. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. For these breaking choreographies, I also have a tendency to just play music on the day and match my choreography to the beat, even though the beat is a new surprising thing. that's something that's helpful to creativity too, because if you're thrown down on a dance floor, you hardly know what the next song is. And part of being a good dancer is being able to dance to anything that comes out for those waves. That third pass went all on its own. However, it felt like doing it. Maybe I'll do some door. Whatever. That's a full dance session. This way. This is actually one of the exercises that helps me build my wrist flexibility.